Hey, today we're going to be covering a little video going into how to make waterfalls. Waterfalls, any kind of like splashing water. Like for example, here's a little ripper on the base. He's jumping out, so there's some splashes around him. So what you need first is you need a trusty cotton bud. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to pull one side of it off and try to pull out the inside of it. Cool, and then at this point we're just going to get some scissors and we're just going to snip it in half. Alright, from now you're basically just going to pull it apart. So basically you want to try and use the part of the cotton to kind of use as like a frame for the actual resin I'm going to put onto it. But it's really soft. So we want to kind of bring it apart but not fully tear it apart, otherwise you just have bits everywhere. Okay, here's some I did earlier. I pretty much just stuck them onto a lip of a older plastic box. I'd need somewhere so they can hang from. So when you basically apply the super glue to it, you can just stick the cotton on and try not to get on your fingers, like I normally always get on my thumb now. And basically just push them onto it. When you eventually pick one up. There you go. And just let that dry. Then you can pull it down and kind of start to shape your water splash or waterfall. Okay, cool. This stuff is Vallejo water texture, and it's basically it's like a dry see-through type of acrylic that you can basically put on stuff. It works really well. If you don't have this, you can try with PVA glue or other type of kind of like water resins, but you'd have to kind of build it up. With this stuff, you can put it on quite thick, and it's generally quite forgiving as well. Even if you put like quite a big blob on at once, it'll still dry quite clear, compared to some other conventional stuff where you basically put it on and like you might still have that kind of white pocket on the inside where it's kind of set outside. Now with all of these, I'm just going to put my thumb behind one, and then I'm going to basically paint on the acrylic. The reason why I put my thumb behind it is because it kind of helps hold it, and it doesn't basically create too much of a pull on it, because if you basically paint directly onto the actual bits of cotton, you might just pull them clean off because they're quite fragile at this time. Now I've also got a flat brush as well, because it's the same again, it just makes it really easy to basically cover the actual the cotton without having to pull on it too much. At this point, you can just kind of start to kind of move them in any kind of way you like, really, to kind of get like a slightly different effect from it. This stuff does dry pretty quick, so it'll probably be dry in about 10-15 minutes. So you could always wait until it's kind of got to the part where it's kind of like nearly dry and you can warp it slightly. But what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to let these dry now, and then I'm just going to apply a second coat. So this is about 10-15 minutes later. I think I had them next to the radiator, so they've kind of dried up quite nice. They've become a lot tougher now, but generally you want to build up quite a lot of the acrylic on them to actually start to make them look like actual splashes. Because at the moment they just look a bit like, well, cotton covered with acrylic. So I'm going to basically put like a second coat on, and then you can slowly kind of build up the texture in it. Now these guys I think have had about 3 coats on them now, so they're looking pretty much the way I want them to, and you can literally just tear them off, because they're still quite brittle at the bottom, but then you can always clip them at a later date to take off the remaining cotton at the bottom, the base, and then you can blend it into your diorama, waterfall, or anything. Cool, they're looking good. All right, I'm just going to cut to a diorama I'm working on. Okay, cool. And this is what I made the splashes for. It's for the dinosaur's foot. Obviously, you step. And all I've done here is I've just stuck them next to the actual foot and partially under to try and make it look like it's kind of splashed up. Hope this helps you guys. Take care.